Nutrition!
Hey YouTube, DogNutrition84 here, and welcome to another Top 5 video. This one's called Top 5 Other Annoying Mistakes Opponents Make. Yeah, I know I did this video already as a Top 10 like half a year ago, but it turns out that there are other annoying mistakes that opponents make in duels. Now again, I'm not trying to give anyone a hard time here. Like, we all make mistakes after all. I mean, we're only human. Could be with anything, including Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, it's understandable if new players or returning players make mistakes, or players playing a deck that they never played before, cards they've never played before. You know, that's fine. I'm not gonna give anyone shit over that. In fact, that's not even the aim of the video. Well, all I'm doing is just ranting about some other mistakes that pop up and keep popping up on occasion. It's just annoying when someone just makes the same mistake over and over again. For instance, either that or it just keeps coming up with different people. I don't know. I'm sure it can drive anyone crazy. Anyway, let's just kick this off. Number 5, assuming their monster dies if I attack into it with a weaker monster. Now this is something that's happened a few times. I run a weaker monster into an opponent's stronger monster for whatever reason, like if I want an effect to go off, and for some reason they just assume their monster gets destroyed as well. So I keep saying, no, your monster's not destroyed. Just, why? Why do they keep making this assumption? I don't get it. Like, is it me? Do I not make my intentions clear whenever I say, right, I crush my monster into this? Am I not being clear enough? I mean, surely if I was to attack into it, one monster with a monster with the same attack, I would have said something like, crush so they're both destroyed. Is that something I should do more often? Like, just what's going on here? Just why does this keep happening? Like, why do they make this assumption? I don't understand. I mean, fair enough if they're not familiar with the kind of monster I'm running, but if it's a monster they know, then surely they shouldn't assume both monsters would be destroyed. I mean, if it was something like Explode-A-Dragon, I could understand, but I don't know, I don't get it. It's just a minor thing that bothers me, really. Number 4, thinking you can choose a different target for an effect if the intended target leaves the field. And this has come up quite a few times, where one of my monsters has been targeted for an effect, like, could be Magic Cylinder, could be Infinite Impermanence. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of something that would change the number of monsters I have. Like Super Poly, maybe? I don't know. But there have been some cases where one of my monsters got targeted for an effect, and I did something to basically dodge it so that the target is no longer there on the field, and the person goes. So does that mean I can choose a different target? But it's like, well, no. There's there's no such game mechanic. If a target leaves the field, you cannot choose a different one. Like that's not how it works. The only thing that comes close enough to that is shift, which changes the target of an attack or an effect from one of my monsters to a different monster, but that's literally it. But no, you cannot choose a different target if your original target left the field, or not even just the field, the graveyard. Like if they tried to take one of my monsters with Monster Reborn and I did something to remove the target, like with, let's say, Call of the Haunted, they're like, so can I choose a different target? No! You cannot choose a different target! There's no such ruling! Ah! Number 3. Trying to activate things in the damage step that you can't activate. I mean, yeah, we've all been there. We've all made this mistake. I'm pretty sure I've made this mistake at some point in my Yu-Gi-Oh life, but it can get annoying when opponents try to activate things in the damage step that they can't, like let's say Mirror Force, Ash, Ghost Spell, Called by the Grave. It's just annoying. Now I know the damage step is something that can be confusing and complicated, just for anyone really, but it just kind of bugs me that they try to do it. So, like, if I was to attack with a weaker monster into a stronger monster, and then they're confused and don't do anything, and then I go damage step, drop a battle hand trap, honest Neos, Kiwi Magician Girl, things like that, and then they try to activate something like Mirror Force or Storming, and I'm like, you can't, we've entered the damage step. Although something that came up more was people trying to use Caught by the Grave in the damage step, but they can't do that. Because Caught by only negates the effect. I mean, this is a complex ruling that I was given some time ago, but just to make it simpler, the only things that can activate during the damage step are cards that modify attack or defense points, and something that negates an activation and destroys. Things like Infernity Barrier, Divine Wrath, Stardust Dragon. These negation effects can activate in damage step, but just not things like Called By or Ash Blossom, and it's just annoying when people try to do things like that and then try to argue that they're right. Which of course is a generalised Yu-Gi-Oh pet peeve, people arguing with me over a ruling when I'm actually right and the other person is wrong. Yeah, it just really pisses me off. And so does this next one. Number 2, trying to use an effect like Lumina or Zombie Master if there's no target in the graveyard, or something like Cyber Dragon Nova. Yeah, this has come up on quite a few occasions. The same thing even twice, which was Nova. Like, what they would try to do, if there's no target in grave, is like discard something from the hand or detach to put what they put in the graveyard or detached into the graveyard, and then say, oh, there's now a valid target, so they can do it and resurrect it. But it's like, you can't. I don't care what you say and what bullshit ruling you think works, you cannot activate these effects and pay the cost if you don't have a valid target in the graveyard. It's not how it works. I mean, you need a valid target to even attempt to activate the effect and attempt to pay the cost. Otherwise, you can't do it. And it just irritates me so much when people try to argue with me and say that they can. Again, it's annoying when people argue with me over a ruling when I'm right and they're wrong. But even this isn't as annoying as the number 1 pick. So in at number 1, forgetting you can only summon once after activating Numeron Calling. Yeah, this has come up quite a few times, and yeah, this is just basically the whole thing with Soul Charge and Dark Summoning Beast all over again, where people have activated those cards and forgot that you can't attack. But this, it's the same thing. Yeah, for those who don't know Numeron Calling, it basically special summons numbers 1, 2, 3 and 4 from the extra deck, but has the drawback which clearly states on the card that you can only summon once more during that turn after you activated it. However, there have been a few too many situations where an opponent has tried to summon more than once after that, and I've said, you can't, you can only summon once more. And this mistake keeps happening over and over again, and it's so annoying. It's like, oh my god, you can't summon more than once. This has already been explained to you about 5 times. How can you not remember this? Now I can understand if you've only just started using the card, but still, it clearly says on the card you can only summon once more after activating it. Please, for the love of God, read your card and learn how it works. I don't know what's worse, this, or people activating Soul Charge or the effect of Dark Summoning Beast and then forgetting you can't attack in the same turn. It's so annoying. Anyway, yeah, that pretty much covers it. So, have any of these things happened to you? Are there any other annoying mistakes the opponent made that have drove you crazy? Let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you later. Bye. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Dark Magician YouTube channel.